The EU's transition to sustainable energy will be accelerated by renovating its existing building stock. Renovation has been cited by the European Green Deal as a crucial step in advancing industry energy efficiency and accomplishing objectives in both public and private buildings. Building renovations can also be very important for Europe's economic recovery due to the labor-intensive nature of the construction industry and the dominance of local businesses in it. To advance the twin objectives of energy gains and economic growth, the Commission published a renovation wave for Europe, greening buildings, creating jobs, improving lives in 2020. It plans to triple annual energy renovation rates in 10 years. These improvements should raise the number of green jobs in the construction sector, reduce emissions, and raise living standards for those who occupy and use the buildings. Three crucial areas are given particular attention by the renovation wave. 1. The fight against the worst-performing buildings and energy poverty. 2. Infrastructure for public use and social services. 3.3. VAC systems that use less carbon. Together with the Renovation Wave Strategy and Action Plan, a document was released in 2020 that outlined potential EU financing budget alternatives that could assist the renovation wave in various ways. Direct investment, use of private capital, support of research and innovation, consideration of technical support, and consideration of market constraints. Horizon Europe has its own research programs, some of which include initiatives like the Build Up Initiative, in addition to the Renovation Wave Strategy and Action Plan. A system for sharing knowledge about how to make buildings more energy efficient. Program Build UP Skills. Aiming to increase the number of qualified construction professionals in Europe capable of performing energy-efficient building restorations and constructing new buildings that are almost entirely energy-free. The For-Renew initiative, See Home Improvements for the Planet, seeks to provide innovative tools and strategies to encourage thorough rehabilitation of existing properties and to advance the use of renewable energies. Regarding Articles 168 and 194 of the Treaty on the Functioning of the European Union, the June 5, 2019, Directive, EU, 2019-944 of the European Parliament and the Council. Our analysis highlights only a few of the 24 recommendations from the Commission Recommendation, EU, 2020-1563 of the 14th of October 2020 regarding energy poverty. Regarding Article 29 of the 2012, the 27 of EU, Recast Electricity Directive, S Common Rules for the Internal Market for Electricity. Whereas, 1. A condition known as energy poverty occurs when a household lacks access to basic energy services. For the EU, energy poverty is a serious problem. 2. The co-legislators agree that adequate heating, cooling, lighting, and electricity to power appliances are necessities for a high standard of living and good health. People need to have access to energy services in order to participate in society. As a result, combating energy poverty may have a number of positive effects, such as reduced medical expenses, lessened air pollution by substituting inefficient heating sources, greater comfort and well-being, and improved household finances. These benefits would significantly boost the economic growth and prosperity of the European Union when combined. 3. According to the European Pillar of Social Rights, which was unanimously proclaimed by the European Parliament, energy is one of the fundamental services that everyone has a right to access. The Commission on November 17, 2017, and the Council Individuals who require it must be able to access assistance in order to use such services. 4. The European Green Deal, as presented by the Commission in December 2019, is centered on a just transition toward a union that is climate neutral by 2050. This Green Deal is focused on the Rehabilitation Wave 5, a significant project to support structural rehabilitation of private and public buildings. Its objectives are to lessen emissions, encourage economic expansion, and address energy poverty. These structural upgrades will support the EU's efforts to reduce climate change. In order to strengthen the calls for addressing energy poverty and the worst-performing buildings, it has been determined that the renovation wave and this recommendation must be implemented together. 5. The legislative package, Clean Energy for All Europeans, contains an essential concept that is consolidated: energy poverty. This idea will aid in a fair transition to new energy sources. In accordance with Regulation (EU) 2018 and 1999 of the European Parliament and Council, the Commission is required to provide indicative guidance on appropriate indicators for measuring energy poverty under Article 6 of the Governance Regulation, also known as the Governance Regulation and the Recast Electricity Directive. 7. And regarding the phrase, a significant number of households in energy poverty. 8. Since there is no accepted definition of energy poverty at the international level, it is up to the individual member states to set their own criteria, while taking into account their own national circumstances. Ideas and broad concepts regarding the potential causes and effects of energy poverty are included in the recently adopted legislative package. 6. Member states must figure out how many families in their NECP are affected by energy poverty. If a member state determines that a significant proportion of its households are living in energy poverty, it shall include in its plan an energy poverty reduction national aim, strategies, and initiatives. As part of the fifth State of the Energy Union report, the Commission has made staff working documents for every member state available. These documents provide distinct evaluations of each final NECP. 7. The updated Electricity Directive mandates that member states implement appropriate actions to address energy poverty wherever it is found, including actions that address the broader context of poverty. Member states are also required to defend vulnerable clients, particularly those who reside in outlying regions. Directive 2009/73, EC of the European Parliament and Council, 10, contains similar requirements. The requirement under the new legal framework to figure out how many homes are energy poor is novel. Article 29 of the Recast Electricity Directive required member states to develop and publish the standards for estimating the number of households experiencing energy poverty. In conclusion, Consumer Trading Organization Limited will eventually host additional concepts.